There are things that happen to you in life, but whatever happens, it doesn't matter because everything is a learning experience. Everything is a learning curve. And all these obstacles, they are sent to us for you to grow. And if you don't see that, that is too bad because they're going to be resent to you over and over and over again until you learn from that experience.
And welcome back to Elevate with Yoana Lin, the channel and the podcast that empowers women to be their best selves, where I interview women from all over the globe and I ask them about their struggles. I ask them about their journey in life, their journey maybe to a different country, their families, their work, everything that can give you, the listener, a really cool perspective. Maybe you can resonate with some of my guests. Maybe you can learn something and maybe you can connect with me or my guest and ask questions, be vulnerable. In other words, find the support needed, because I feel that a lot of women are not asking for help, especially in the last years after COVID. A lot of people are suffering in silence. So my goal is for you that is listening to this, to ask, to open up, and to connect with all of us, and to be inspired. In today's episode, I have a very special guest. Now, I know that all of my guests are very dear to my heart. Daniela, though, was, if I could say, I am married, but she was love at first sight. We clicked, we connected, and we said, wow, I feel like I've just met you and I've known you for many years, maybe for many, many lives. So I brought her on the channel because she's positive, she's radiant, she's cool, she's running her own business, and I think that she's a great inspiration for all of you. Welcome, Daniela.
Thank you so much for the great introduction. And as you mentioned, yes, it was a love at first sight. I feel like we have known each other for many years now, but we have just started our connection a couple of days ago. And it's great to be on your channel. Thank you so much for inviting me here.
My pleasure. I want you to tell me a little bit about yourself and our audience. Who are you? How did you end up to the United States? What's your story?
So I'm from Bulgaria. Me and my husband both are from Bulgaria. We came to the United States 25 years ago. It's a funny story because we have applied to the green card lottery as a joke back in 95, 96. We got married in 97 in May. And in August, I have received a letter that I have won the lottery. So my lucky husband came with me. Because if we were not married, he wouldn't come. Because when you're over 21, you're not allowed to bring anybody else with you. So he was lucky, but I was lucky as well to have someone by my side. And funny enough, his name is Angel. So he's my guardian angel throughout my journey. Yeah. And we came to North Carolina to Cary. It was very lucky again because we were supposed to go to Detroit. Only 2 months before we arrived, our sponsors said that they are moving out to Raleigh area. And they said, buy tickets to Raleigh, not to Detroit. So we end up here and our journey started here, but it also continued for 25 years because we have not moved anywhere else. You can probably hear the birds in the background, the wonderful nature, and we didn't like it so much in the beginning, but now we're in love with this place. And the house that we bought, we lived here for 24 years now. And it is our oasis because we're in the middle of the city, but you cannot hear any of the city life, any of the busyness, the heavy traffic and all that. We're like in paradise here.
Yeah, I know exactly where you are. Such a funny thing. We have such similar stories. I won the green card lottery. I was married as well. We came here together. We came here in 2005. The only thing that is different between our stories is that we didn't intentionally want to come to the United States. My husband actually was showing his uncle how to apply online for the green card lottery, and he used my information. Because his uncle didn't know how to adjust the pictures, how to, make them. He's a physician, and he said, "Okay, let me show you the process from A to Z." So, and then we went on our honeymoon, and we came back, and we had the paperwork there that was brought inside the house by my father-in-law. And it took us a long time to even figure out what this is. We couldn't figure out. We were freshly married. We had just bought our house. So imagine, my parents, our families were just put in a situation where we said, you know what? We think we're going to go to the United States. I mean, we just won the lottery. And it was it was intense. I can say my mom cried for about 3 years on and off, because we were just going to come for about a year just to have some fun. Every time we would talk, when are you coming home? When are you coming home? When are you coming home? Why are you even there? We don't understand. We miss you. The house is empty. And then I had my daughter in 2008. So we came 2005. I had her in 2008. And it's just, our lives completely shifted. We started a business. And we just never went back. But
No, we also went back.
Yeah, we never went back.
Once you have your kids. Yeah.
It's very different, because what happens, I don't know if you agree with me, after a while, you create your adult life here in this different culture, in this different country. And then when we were going back, or, we were trying to envision ourselves there, it was very hard to, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you don't belong there, you don't belong here. Someone says that it's the curse of the first generation. Right?
Yes. Yeah, and it's funny because we came with only 2 suitcases with, basically clothes. We came with absolutely nothing here. And, luckily we had these wonderful people that helped us out in the beginning, and we stayed in their house, but, starting a job in a totally different country, not knowing the language even, because I didn't know any English when I came in. I spoke Russian and German. That's what I learned in high school. And I had to catch up, and I had to learn English as fast as I can. So I actually decided to learn English as the kids, like the babies, just by listening, observing. I was not speaking much in the beginning. And in about 3 or 4 months, I was ready to go. I was already speaking. I had some great help from local ladies here that I worked with, and they were, very nice to help me out. And I was asking them questions, and they were explaining. So I had a walking thesauruses with me. Then after a year, I just went to school to learn how to write and to read English, because that's very different from our languages, which is what you hear, that's what you read and what you write. But in English, you have all this spelling and stuff, and it was very difficult in the beginning. But I was a quick learner, so here I am. Yeah.
We were talking on the phone the other day to prepare for this, and she said, I can't find my words. And I resonated with her so much, because I still have moments and days, right, when you wake up and you can't find the words in English. You know what you want to say, but they just don't come. they just don't come. Especially when we're tired. And we have things. But I need to share this, because speaking about you not speaking English. So my husband is from Romania, but he's Hungarian. Now, if you know anything about languages, Hungarian is one of the most difficult languages in the world. It has no genders, Finnish, or just to give you an idea, if you want to say unicorn, it in Romanian is unicorn, right? Romanian is a beautiful Latin language. I love you, like te amo, te iubesc, right? Hungarian, for example, when you want to say I love you, you say szeretlek. Or if you want to say unicorn, you say egy szarvú. Okay, so I'm just giving you a perspective of how crazy the language is. But I speak Hungarian, He speaks Romanian. We're from the border with Hungary, so I grew up learning Hungarian as a child. When we came here, we were in Costco one day, and we were with a friend, and he said, "I'm going to go to buy I don't know what. You can stay here, and we'll meet you." We didn't have phones still at that time in the U.S., so he said, "Okay, pussy, pussy." Well, pussy, pussy. And he laughed. Well, pussy, pussy in Hungarian means kiss, kiss. Okay.
Oh, wow.
He screamed pussy, pussy, like bye bye. I'll see you in a second. Immediately, I don't know how many women here, people were looking at me like, "What are you guys doing?" And when pussy has always stayed, even now with the kids, when we want to say kiss, we say, "Do not say pussy at the park. Do not speak Korean." And on top of that, fuck, the beautiful word fuck means to do. So when I say, "Eu fac plăcinte," means I am making crepes. So again, fuck. You imagine we go to my son's school, he's 9. Fuck you fuck. So we speak Romanian, and then children look, and then teachers. So it's such an interesting thing linguistically. Some of the things that people don't think about, but we have to acknowledge them and completely change our ways and all of that. So thank you for sharing. You really made me giggle inside.
That was funny.
So I hope for all of you women that are here and the first generation immigrants, you can definitely relate. And it's bringing a smile on your face. So let's dive a little bit into, you've had a great journey. Your kids were born here. You're definitely not going back to Bulgaria. I want to ask you, because this is really, I think there's a lot of women out there, again, who are in a situation where they're really debating what's happening in their lives, right? So I want to empower them, and I want to learn a little bit more deeply and more in that vulnerable side of you. And I want to start with something positive. And I want you to share, if you don't mind, what are the 3 things that you love the most about yourself?
That is a wonderful question, and thank you for asking about that. So I think one of the greatest things that one can do for themselves is love yourself for who you are and be positive no matter what. Remember where you come from, remember your heritage, and always try to grow. I think that's one trait that I find I see it in the young generation. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm crying right now. Young generation doesn't want to... It hurts me because I see it every day in my kids too. You have to wake up in the morning and give the best of yourself and be as positive and, try to learn from every situation. The thing that I see in the kids in the younger generation now is there is no will for life. They live day by day. They don't care what they're gonna live for the world. I know they're still young and everything, but the funny thing is when you try to teach them and to tell them and to give them your wisdom, your knowledge, they're like, whatever. We'll figure it out tomorrow, or as we come to that bridge, we'll cross it then. Try to be the best of yourself every single day and grow from every situation. There are hardships, there are things that happen to you in life, but whatever happens, it doesn't matter, because everything is a learning experience, everything is a learning curve, and if you don't learn, if you don't grow from that experience, there's absolutely no point. And all these obstacles, they are sent to us from, if you want to say from God or from heaven or whatever you believe in. But all these situations, they're made for you to grow. And if you don't see that that is too bad, because they're going to be resent to you over and over and over again until you learn from that experience.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I also resonate with you. The resilience and learning from past mistakes. I was actually reading this beautiful quote by Albert Einstein that I have right here in front of me. It says, "Learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow." And I can say that you're a mom, I'm a mom. What I learned, and maybe many women will resonate. I've had a fairly rough time in the last couple of years with my daughter, and we butt heads a lot, and she's 16. And going back to what you said, not that I'm a smarty pants by any means, I really learned to come to peace with the fact that we all have our journey, we all have our life, and we all have our struggles. And as a mother, I can only do the best to empower my children, to show them the way through my example, to be positive myself, to be generous, to be confident, to they already see what they have. And life going to teach them at some point, right? At some point, they're going to see, wow, what amazing parents we have. What an amazing life our parents have given us. They're frontal of everything is not yet developed. So they can't really understand all the time what we're talking about. It's too deep for them, and they live too much in the moment. So I learned to kind of just let go and move on and trust the higher source that they're going to be okay and everything's going to be fine. So you talked about resilience. You talked about loving yourself, being compassionate. Also, would you be able to describe maybe in a few sentences what did your previous year, a couple of years look like? Do you have a insight about some of your struggles, some of the things that you've learned, especially after COVID?
Yeah, the past 3 years have been very hard for me. First of all, COVID came in. And then right as things were improving, we were going back to normal, kind of. I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I had to go through surgery and all that. Oh, I'm going to start crying again. The funniest thing is, it's been a year now, and I was just talking to a friend yesterday, and she was like, "How are you feeling? How are you doing?" I was like, "Great. Everything is, I feel like normal. Everything is, it's kind of normal, but I can still not feel myself as I was before those 3 years. During the breast cancer journey, I learned, like you said, just to relax, cope with the situation, not get angry, not get mad at whatever circumstances they are, at the people around me. It's like, because every time you get angry or nervous, stressed out, it relates to your body, and it would come in one form or another as a sickness, as an illness. I was like, okay, I need to stop doing that. I need to relax. I need to just let go, just go with the flow, and be as positive and as relaxed as I can be, and still, do my thing. However, I find out that if I'm not on edge a little bit, things are not going so well. As far as I'm lacking, and I'm missing a word. I'm sorry. I'm lacking that speed. I'm lacking, that go. And the past few months, I'm like, you know what? Fuck that cancer. I have to go back to what I was before without the anger and the madness. But what I'm trying to do now is the person who I am. I wake up in the morning, get dressed quickly, get everything go ready for the day. I have to do my exercise, and I don't drink coffee, but I would either prepare some tea if I have time, or just listen to some pump up music, usually like disco or rock and roll, and that's my goal for the day. That's my coffee, and get everything organized for the day. And I, try to do everything as possible, as quickly as possible, and don't leave things undone. Don't leave things for another day. Don't procrastinate. I try to do as many things as I can finish for the day, so I have less things for tomorrow, less things for, for the rest of the week. Of course, there are a lot of things, and as a mother as well, there's always something coming up. So the more you finish today, not only you will have less for the next day, but again, it's going to be easier for you.
Yeah, so you've had quite a journey, and I went through a very difficult time as well, because my sister was diagnosed with cancer in her thyroid, and she had her thyroid removed, papillary cancer, and actually, in my coaching practice, I have a fairly substantial amount of information on health, because I'm passionate about this. So I could say this is like my ways to read about things, and I can tell you that there are many ways to fight this illness in a very natural way, and we can talk about this because right now you're doing perfectly fine to maintain your health where it needs to be. In very, very simple ingredients that you can take on a daily basis. But just like you said, the very big difference maker in everybody's life is how we feel on a day-to-day basis. That not every day is gonna be, great for any of us. But I think that what you do from an action perspective to wake up, to dance, to feel joy, to feel positive, to feel radiant, is definitely putting your body in a state where it regenerates, where you give it oxygen. I also find that since I started meditating, and I'm talking about, 10 minutes in the morning when I wake up and 10 minutes at night with deep breathing exercises, really, really helps the spirit to ground and to build that morning awareness, to really have that deep inner peace. And all of these are like little muscles that we can build, right? They don't come, we're not necessarily born with this knowledge, but you can progressively do certain things that are definitely going to increase your awareness, your peace of mind, your body. It also regulates your breathing, your body. And as I said, from neem powder, that's an amazing blood purifier. There's I will give you exactly the bitter seeds that I also told my sister, and she takes 3 every day, 3 pieces every single day. And it works miracles against any cancer. Also, I have several drinks that I've learned about with the turmeric root, with ginger root, with cayenne pepper. Yeah, because they're
it's kind of like a tea.
Yeah, I will give you exactly. I will give you exactly all of my recipes. I went to her when she removed her thyroid with the whole repertoire of, this is all homeopathic, this is all natural. All you have to do right now, calm down and know that, like you said, everything that happens is definitely related to something that the body has encountered, either through an emotional trauma. It could be something life. It could be a generational trauma. It could be a gestational trauma. So there are many reasons why things happen, but the way you react in the moment is the most important one. And you are the image of just radiate positive energy and radiate joy, and the way you embrace me into your life. This is all part of how amazing you are. And I know for a fact that I will be looking at it with you and will be 85 and dancing with a little.
I hope so.
God, I'm not here at that time. Look. We're still gonna dance at some awards from Carrie and have a lot of fun together. Um, is there anything that you would like to pass on to women? Women that have fear of maybe having success in their lives, feeling like fear of living their lives fully. What would just give me some of your insights about that? Because again, you're also in business, you do so many things. And there's a lot of women that are stuck. They're just stuck in this moment of not being able to find their inner power to move on from a certain situation. What advice or what insight could you share that would be really beneficial to them?
The funniest thing is we say so many things to others and try to inspire them, but sometimes we have our own stops and fears. And I would say this, but I find that I have a lot of fears. Well, I'm not even sure how to put this, but my thing is, I always say to my kids and to everybody around me, don't fear anything. This is a crazy thing to say, and it's very hard to do. But I have learned throughout life that whatever you're afraid of, that's what actually happens to you. Because, again, you have to learn from that experience, from your fear. And facing your fear is the biggest learning experience, the biggest learning curve. When I was little, I think it was 9th grade, I was so afraid of actually going to a hospital and having a surgery. We were playing with the kids. You know how it is. In our childhood, we were playing outside until it's dark, until like in the summertime, like midnight. So we were playing hide and seek outdoors, and there was a grass that was very slippery, and I fell down, and it turns out that there was a broken beer bottle, under the grass. The grass was high, and I cut my hand on the bottle, but I cut it to such an extent that I needed surgery. I needed actually stitches and needed to go to the hospital. So here I was afraid of, surgery, and that's what happened to me. Now I'm not afraid anymore. It's very interesting to say, but I was never afraid of being pregnant and giving birth. And my two birds, I have two children, went very smoothly. I almost felt like I was not in labor. Of course, it was painful. The pain is forgotten a long time ago. But the funny story, I was like few minutes after giving birth to my daughter. She's my firstborn. My mom was with me in a hospital, and she was like, "How are you feeling? Do you think you're gonna have a second child?" I was like, "Yes, I'm ready for a second child. No problem." Right after birth, they were laughing at me like, "You're crazy." I'm like, "No, as long as you stay positive, as long as you keep your body healthy, because if you don't do that, if you don't take care of your body, then things happen to you, And again, don't be afraid. Just stay positive and do your best. Be healthy every morning, as you said. Like, wake up in the morning, do some exercise, take some deep breaths. It's very, very, very important that you get your blood circulation going properly in the morning. Deep breaths, drinking some either tea or some look like warm water, and you can put some lemon in it. There are a lot of natural remedies that can clean up your stomach in the morning, get ready, get your blood circulation going, get some oxygen in your body, and get energized however you're doing it. For me, that's music. And, have some positive vibes, start your day, get going, and, no matter what happens, stay positive.
There's one thing, I don't know if you guys, I see you have a fairly big yard. I learned this from, there's a doctor, elderly doctor, Dr. Barbara O'Neill, and she did a video on how beneficial to the body it is if you have a trampoline, and it could be a small trampoline, and to jump for 2 minutes every morning. And I was like, well, okay. I mean, I guess it's great to jump. But then I understood the scientific part. She said that the lymphatic system is being activated really, really amazingly in the morning, and then every day, because you're activating it every day. Then while you're working, you're doing your thing. The lymphatic system is very overlooked. I feel everybody thinks about this, but then that's very important in our body. And so she was explaining this, and I do this every single morning. I go up outside. We have a big trampoline. I just literally jump for 2-3 minutes. I just breathe deep. And while I jump, I just breathe intense, hold my breath. I do this intense exercise, and then I take a shower. Another thing that she said is amazing for the body, that shocks the body, is always, maybe a little bit warm water with really, really cold water. So even if I take a bath, let's say, at the end, I always stay under the, cold water. And then I used to walk a lot, which I still like to do. But she was also talking about how important it is when you, let's say you run, okay? So you run for a minute. So you put your body in that state of you run and you're breathless. And that takes the blood, the flow, the heart to a different level very fast. So these are some of the shockers that really, really have the body naturally. And it's just amazing because you don't have to necessarily work out for an hour. You don't have to do all these crazy, things. But if you implement these small little things that could take, again, 10 minutes every single day, it could really change the way you look and the way you feel, because you're not in that dormant mode. And speaking about fear, I don't know if you saw, I recently posted, because the channel is new, but I will be an intuitive energetic healer at the end of next week. I'm graduating, and I am
Congratulations.
Graduating.
That is so exciting.
Okay. Very, very exciting. Julie Ryan was a world-renowned, she's a scientist, psychic, channeler, and she does intuitive energetic healing. So she's the one that actually, full transparency, she told me about my sister's cancer. So my sister had these nodules, and they've been there for a while. And she said, okay, well, I may have to remove them. Probably they're not cancerous, but when I told her I will be working with this woman, I said, do you agree to be scanned by Julie? And my sister was sure. My sister is a doctor, right? She's a vet. Her husband is a vet. They're both surgeons. So they're extremely pragmatic and rational. And they don't believe in a lot of things that I do believe in. And the interesting thing was that when I had that one-on-one with Julie, I asked her to scan my sister, and she said, your sister does have cancer. It shows as dark black asphalt. She said you can, and she see it energetically, she says, is it right? This is not woo-woo. She's not going to heal you. This is a combination of, I see this is happening in your body. I can encapsulate it. So she encapsulated the cancer for her. And I told my sister, I recorded the conversation. I sent it to her. And she went to she went to Romania to one of the doctors that she's talked to many, many years ago, where she graduated university. And he did the biopsy, and it said, no, you don't have any cancer. And said, oh, well, yay, everybody was happy. Of course I was happy, right? But there was something in the back of my mind, and there was something in the back of her mind that led her to going back again and test again. And of course, in England, it was way more painful. They actually got it because it was incipient phase, right? And they discovered it was cancer. So, of course, then she had the thyroid removed. She's cancer-free now. But where I'm going with this is that I interviewed Julie. I will send the interview. Feel free to look on my YouTube channel where our interview is going to be posted. And she was talking about the fear. And she was saying that most of the fear is made up. There's fear that there's the ancestral fear, right? Oh, I'm going to be eaten by a leopard now. I have to run. This is a real fear. It's like, but she taught me one really, really cool thing. She said, always ask yourself this question. When you feel fear in your heart, is this going to kill me in the next 2 minutes? Right? So it's a very question, which means, is this train going to kill me? If it's going to kill me, I got to run. I got to act. If the train is not coming, if the animal is not coming, if I am not in actual danger, then wonder, is this going to kill me? No, it's not going to kill me. Maybe I'm making this stuff up. So how about, and I teach that in my coaching, it's called notice, rewire, notice, shift, rewire, right? I'm noticing
Change your
this
mindset.
thought. I'm immediately take that thought and say, is this going to kill me? If it's not going to kill me, I'm noticing it. I ask the question. I shift my attention from that particular fear. I intentionally learn it. And then I said, F this. And then I'm going to rewire that thought to something else, right? It takes practice, like a muscle that you build. But once I learned that, I achieved a lot of things within. And even, in certain situations or with clients or with difficulties in real estate or whatnot, because I didn't let that fear guide how the conversation is going to go. Exactly. And it makes a huge difference, even in, with my any relationships with children, with any discussion. So that's a really valid point to where you're saying, you have fears, and we all have. We're hardwired, all of us, for fear. But it's how you cope with that fear and what your perspective on that fear is. That's very, very important, and that's going to determine our present and our future. So thank you so much for sharing that. And again, you are, I don't know how you see yourself, right? Because we're all biased. But from outside, from what I see, and my sense of your energy is a very, very peaceful energy. It's a very positive energy. It's an energy that's inspiring. That's an empowering energy that I get from you. So that's absolutely wonderful. Wonderful.
That's what most people perceive me as, a peacemaker. And it's funny because all my life I've been like in the middle of conflict, in the middle of different situations. In between usually two people who are arguing. I'm always the deliberator, the dividing point, and the not the dividing point, the person who make peace, between both, or 3 or 4 parties.
It's very, very interesting perspective. We can definitely talk more about this because, as much as a light worker as you are, without wanting to give advice again, right? But sometimes those energies, they affect you more than you think.
Oh yeah. I know,
because you are the peacemaker, or you are the person who is bringing a external joy to someone that might actually need empowerment within themselves to be able to learn how to cope with the situations. And then that energy, the more you open yourself up, and if you are the type of person that doesn't know how to control, right? In my perspective, practice. Imagine, I work with a lot of people. If I don't know how to ground, and if I don't know how to take, understand, and keep out of my soul, I would be sick all the time. So
That's
it's
true.
it's very important. In my perspective, I see you as your aura is extremely kind, and if I don't know if the aura, if I can say about aura, it's a kind aura. It's a very positive and vibrant and healing aura. That's what I get from you. You gotta protect it, though. You gotta protect your energy. So, what is your favorite quote or anything on a positive note that we can end the conversation with?
Whatever you do for yourself. Make sure you stay positive and achieve your best, do your best, and look into the future and say, I'm going to be this and this in 5 years, in 10 years. I'm going to be so much better. I'm going to be so much more. I'm going to be a great example for my kids. I'm going to leave a legacy for my kids. I think that's a good takeaway for today.
It's a very good takeaway. Positive, a good outlook on the present, on your future. Manifesting, you are talking about manifesting. Manifesting is very...
Manifesting, exactly, yeah.
Manifest. We manifest everything that's happening in our lives. And I manifested you in my life. And I can't wait to go out with you and have a beautiful dinner or lunch. And with our husbands. I want to meet Angel.
Thank you. Yeah. I would love to meet your family as well and get to know each other more.
And our boys could definitely hang out. My son is almost 10. Your son is 13. So maybe they have, playing FIFA or something in common where you guys can come over and we can all hang out. That would be really lovely.
Thank you so much for the wonderful conversation and a wonderful time. I really enjoyed it.
I love you. Take care of yourself. Thank you, all of you, for watching. Please subscribe, comment, ask us questions. And if you are in a moment in time in life where you would like to connect with me directly, maybe even with Daniela, I'm going to put all of her information there. She's a businesswoman. We didn't get to touch some of her business experience, but I will put all of the information there for all of you. And I know that if you're going through hard times, we are here for you. Feel free to call me, her, anyone that could uplift you and help you to stay positive about your present and your future.
I'll be happy to help.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.